And here we are at the beginning of episode 2. So we are going to start off by machining 4 of these pillars. Forget this connector rod, not doing that right now. We'll come back to that later. 4 of these pillars. Game plan is going to be, we'll first face off, drill, and then extend that out of the chuck. We'll come in here with a live centre, hold it, and then be able to machine this section in here, and then we'll part off here, and we'll do that 4 times. And then what we'll do is we'll make some sort of split collet holder type of thing that will go around this sort of thinner waist, I suppose, which we can then use to machine this end. So this end's not got to be too concentric, I guess, because it's just a thread. It's going to be a short thread. As long as it's close and good enough, we should get away with that. So that's the game plan there, and there we go. So drill down here, live centre, machine this section, part off, flip round, machine this side. Cool. I will bring you back in due course. Right, so here we are. We are have now machined four of these posts, all identically sized. We've got the 6BA on the top, 6BA on the bottom. So they are all now done, finished. I did do, as I described, I was made a piece of brass, drilled and reamed the right size for fitting this shaft, split it, mounted it in the forge-drawer. Took a bit of a faff about, because I had to then every time I sort of swap one in, swap one back out again, I re-indicated, but it was worth it in the end. Got there, got them done. Next stage, we're going to have a crack at this casting. So I have actually already off camera mounted it in the forge drawer, and I've already taken a cut across this face and a cut across this face, and this is now should be 1¼ inch tool. Yep. So that's now to the right height dimensionally this way. Next is going to be boring out the main cylinder and then the valve bore just here. I think we'll do that. Might just be able to make out here, but I was just, there we go, you should be able to, just sort of having a play with marking out the valve bore. It needs to be 7/16 from the edge of this, from this edge, which is fine, I guess, in principle, but this is just a rough cast edge. But actually measuring that and mounting it and getting the vertical height gauge gets to about there, which actually fits quite nicely and almost down the centre of this. So that's not too bad, I'm quite happy with that. The next bit though is interesting, because the centre bore of that then needs to be 3/4 of an inch across to there. So actually seems to be pretty much bang on the centre of this core. I've got no way to mark that up really, and I need to turn this on the lathe because I haven't got a mill or a boring head for the lathe, so I could mount it on the vertical table. So I'm still planning on mounting this in the forge or chuck, and this actually seems to be reasonably well positioned. So I'm thinking at the minute, and I might have a cup of tea while I think about this, mounting this up in the forge drawer based upon this hole. So maybe attempt to indicate. I mean, it's reasonably circular, so you might get a half decent indication off of this hole. So mounting that so that's concentric in the forge drawer, and then just boring through, and then from that point onwards we know obviously then the diameter, the radius in fact of the hole that we bore, and then we're going to know sort of how much over we're going to have to go to get to here, because if we then have a look at the picture, have a look here. So if we know the radius here for this, and we know the distance we need it, and we know that the radius or the diameter of this bore, we can then work out what this distance here is, and actually we can use that to then lay out for this bore and get it reasonably accurate. So that's the plan I'm working on for the minute. I might go have a cup of tea and think about it. Okay, so here we are. We are back. There it is. Bosh. We've even done this inside groove here. This is an inside steamway from the valve bobbin. So yeah, there we are. It does look like that. Apart from, obviously, we haven't done the steam passages, so there's no way to get steam from the valve to the cylinder. But we'll rectify that next. So here we are back. I've done a few other bits off camera, so it's been a while, but we're now back on it. And so this is where we are. We have all these bits here. I think the last thing we spoke about was probably this crankshaft. Sorry, not crankshaft, connecting rod. So here are with two bronze bushes on the inside, oil hole on the top. There you are, lovely focus, and slight deviation from the drawing, but gone for an oil hole on the side there. Just because, actually, what I haven't done, which is also another deviation from the drawing, is draw an internal oil ways inside of the crankshaft, which we can do. I mean, the crankshaft's a reasonably simple item, but I didn't think it was an overcomplication. And we can get oil to the other parts easy enough. So, yeah, I can always come back a bit later on and make a new one if I so desire. But the stage we're up to now is I've essentially got 3 parts left. I need to make a piston. I then need to make a gudgeon pin to connect the piston to the connecting rod, and then I need to make some cylinder covers to go on top of this chap. So today's task is piston. We've got a nice bit of cast iron. This came off a larger lump of stock, which I've cut down to about 1.3/8 ish, which is fine. But actually, I need 11/16. So we're going to be following the drawing as here. So the game plan actually initially is chuck it up with this end in the chuck. We'll come down, we'll drill, we'll drill rough most of this out, then we'll come in with boring bar, hit this diameter here, or I'm still debating whether or not it's worth hitting that diameter or just making this diameter all the way through. I guess hitting this diameter and boring it out a bit further around, so you can see here, and then coming in and doing this tool. We've certainly got the tools to do that bit as well up here. Lightens the piston, which I guess potentially, lower reciprocating mass might be worthwhile. Still debating whether or not it's really truly worthwhile. I guess we'll see how I feel as time comes on. So going to make a start now. We'll move over to the Myford and we'll get cracking. There we go, one piston, although it's not, because I drilled a hole for it. You might be able to see it if it focuses right. There we go. I used a twist drill too far through, forgot it had the point on the end, faced off the end, broke through. I'll be back shortly. Piston number 2 finished. There we are. Done, complete with a gudgeon pin and the connecting rod already in. Beautiful. Righto folks, ta-da! Here it is. It is now complete and assembled. Here we go. Nice smooth action. We've provisionally timed it, so we'll see what happens. It's a bit oily because I went a bit crazy with the 3-in-1 as I was putting it together, but that's alright. Ignore the base for now. We'll get a nice plinth. I thought I had a good plinth to put it on. Turns out I didn't. Well, actually I want to save that bit of wood for something else, so we'll have a rummage around, scrounge from somewhere else, I guess. Just something small. Don't know, I mean, what we're looking for. Yeah, something in the region of about 4 inches by about 3 inch, something like that. We shall see. So the next thing is we'll push in the air compressor. We'll try it out, see if it turns over. I think it should do. I mean, it's very smooth. It's got a bit of compression as it goes over and it comes down. It's nice. You can hear it if I put some oil into the valve chest. You can hear it gurgling and sucking a little bit. So yeah, and then we'll make up an adapter, I think, to go in here, and we'll do it properly. But we'll just shove the air hose in right now, and we'll come back for a proper run and mow. First run. I'll make a proper adapter in a second. Here we go. And it's off. And we are running at just under 10 psi. Seems pretty happy with that. There we go. There we are. Awesome sauce.